afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly radio show called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach, and I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a really good conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentations, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. Hey, if your organization is having a conference and you need a rock star keynote speaker, I would love to be a part. You can find me at debsofield.com. I've got a number of books on the market, also on Kindle. You can find all my information on Amazon. Just type in my name, Deb Sofield. All my books will appear. I've got a really great theme today, and it's this. 2 things to remember in life. Take care of your thoughts when you're alone. Take care of your words when you're with people. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for spending these next few minutes with me. Let's get started with today's show. So I've called today's show 2 things to remember in life. As I was preparing for the show, I came across a quote that I'd written down a while back, and it goes like this. 2 things to remember in life. Take care of your thoughts when you're alone, and take care of your words when you are with people. And that's going to be my theme for today. You know, as a coach, I find that many good people struggle with their thoughts. The thoughts they have about themselves, their ability, their intelligence, their body image, their self-worth. And although I don't usually dive too deep with them on these issues, I do like to remind them that in this life, they have control over the most powerful instrument in the world, created by God and given to them. And that is their mind and their mouth. Recently, a situation inspired me to address this again. There's an acquaintance who has dropped into the depth of addiction. So much so that he has lost his family, his friends, and their family's respect, and his job. And within time, he will, no doubt, end up in a very bad place, all because he didn't guard his mind when he was alone. And in his angry justification of being caught, he didn't guard his mouth when he was with people. I don't want to dwell on the final outcome of what is sure to be an ugly situation that's unfolding. But I do want to talk about using your mind to protect yourself from outside influences that could, if you're not careful, seep into places you have no business going. And I'll add a note of caution. The words you use and the damage you will do to yourself and others. Friend, if you're not watchful. I'm not going to spend time admonishing you about staying away from things you know. Stay away from pornography. Online pornography is destroying America. Stay away from drugs, even recreational drugs. Some of you drink too much. You know alcohol is what puts you on edge, or frankly, excessive anything. Now, if you're listening to this show, I trust you're just a good person who occasionally makes mistakes, but you get back on the right path. I trust you are not reckless, because although you may not be a rocket scientist, maybe you are, but most of you know what the end will be like. Now, maybe you think, I'm immune to the effects of these extracurricular activities. Look around your network, my friend, or national news, and just see how the mighty have fallen. Then let me add, but by the grace of God, many of us have been saved from doing really silly things. It's not only the places you allow your mind to wander that can disrupt your life, but also your words when you are with others. You know that I think words matter. Words can hurt, words can heal, and you and I have a choice of the words we choose to use when we decide to cut someone down to the very core. You know, the worst part is, the more you know someone, perhaps a person you once loved, the more you know just the place to stab them where it hurts the most. Shame on you for giving in to your base instincts. Even if you're angry with them, does anyone really deserve your valuable words to be used as a battering ram? That's worth thinking about. I love the quote, how beautiful it is to stay silent when everyone expects you to be enraged. Let's settle in and have a quick discussion about the power of your mind. All right, so you know there's a difference between your mind and your brain. Your brain can be touched and studied. Your brain is made up of physical matter and blood vessels, nerves and cells and other good stuff, I'm sure. And most importantly, your brain is in your head. Now, your mind, well, that's invisible. That's made up of thoughts and memories and emotions that you have to put into it. Shocking to know, your mind doesn't have a home. However, scientists do suspect it's in your brain. Okay, now that you've had your science lesson for the day, and please don't call me because that's the best I can do. You know, in a sense, you have three minds: the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. For today, I'm going to talk about your conscious mind and the choices in your use of your power. I love the quote, "Be careful of your thoughts, for your thoughts become your words. Be careful of your words, for your words become your actions. Be careful of your actions, for your actions become your habits. Be careful of your habits, for your habits become your character. And be careful of your character, for your character becomes your destiny." Friends, you can mess up your destiny if you are not careful with your thoughts when you're alone. And I believe the issue of being mindfully vigilant when you're alone is because your subconscious and unconscious mind can really take you down a wrong path if you'll let it. I used to hear my grandmother say, "Feed a fever, starve a cold." Or maybe it was the other way around. But it's a simple reminder of what you feed into your mind that will find a way out somehow, somewhere. You are not immune to the damage that your mind will force upon you if you leave it unguarded. Listen, your mind occasionally must be refocused to keep you away from the trouble it can get you in. Remember my saying, the body will go where the mind has been. Let me say that again because it's really, really smart. The body will go where the mind has been. It's happened since the beginning of time. If you don't allow your mind to wander in a direction that has no place in your home, your job, your marriage, or your life, you can save yourself a lifetime of heartache. If you let it wander, come on, you're asking for trouble because you cannot outrun, outthink, outsmart the base desires that you allowed to fester and grow in your mind. I flipped on the TV the other night and it was a Dateline special, and of course the camera caught, of all people, a pastor paying for services in a hotel room where he should never have been. Oh, he cried and begged for mercy and gave a bunch of excuses about his one mistake, and he'll never do it again. Call me cynical, but what struck me without a doubt, he made that fateful decision in the quiet and alone of his life and mind. So, how do you save yourself? Well, the key to success is to refocus when the crazy thoughts come into your head. Listen, it's not easy to do, but oh so worth it in the end. Dear listener, save yourself and turn away from the crooked path and find a new direction. I hate to remind you, but many times, well, that means new friends who do not drag you down with them into the mire of the mud. See, for many, the trouble comes in the alone. No doubt many people do dumb things in crowds, but the alone is when the mind, which is lonely and wanting, will find an outlet for good or for that very horrible mistake. Use your conscious mind for good for yourself and others. Okay, so let me end with my favorite part of my topic today, and that is the words you use when you are alone or when you're with others. One way you do that is, friend, you have got to develop a positive mindset. You know, if you think positively, believe it or not, you will speak positively because you just can't help it. And that's a good thing. I have to ask, what do you say to yourself when you see yourself in a mirror? Like most people, you're probably telling yourself that you're not rock star amazing because you're too old, too tired, too wiggly, too jiggly. Things don't work like they used to. Come on. Why don't you start telling yourself the good things about you? Your humor, your kindness, your charm. What you tell yourself every day will lift you up or tear you down. Choices. My friend, you have choices to speak kindly to your soul, your heart, your mind, and your brain, or not. When you speak to yourself, if it's not positive, can you just give yourself a break, this weekend? I mean, really, for 2 days, can you think about all the positive things that you are and not the things others have said to you that maybe you're not? Hear me, this isn't just happy talk from some radio host, but a real understanding that your words matter, whether spoken to yourself or to others. And I'll add this truism: the way we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. Don't you dare be the one who crushes their self-esteem because your life is a mess. When it comes to kids, maybe you should learn to be quiet, or at least, as they say, do all you can to be an encourager. You and I know the world has plenty of critics. There's no need for you to add another unkind word to anyone's brokenness, especially when it comes to kids. Remember to open your mouth only if what you have to say is more beautiful than silence. If you know me, you know my life quote is from Mark Twain. Kindness is a language the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Friends, your words matter. Your vocabulary, well, actually, that's one of the things you have control over. And how you use your words in the building up of others is a reflection of your heart. And I'm going to add your mind and your soul. I know that other people can step on your last nerve. And I know that you've probably taken it for a while now. And I know that you're fed up with the lies that others tell and have told about you. Hey, but that's on them. It's not on you. Don't pick it up. Let their words lie in the mud. Don't dirty yourself by picking them up and throwing them back. You are better than that, even if they deserve it. So friends, remember 2 things in life. Take care of your thoughts when you're alone, and take care of your words when you're with people. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Stay tuned. I've got a couple articles I want to share right after the break. Hi, I'm Deb Sofield. If you've ever needed help crafting a presentation for your job or your company, I can help. In today's world, you know how important it is to be able to speak and present well. I'm a national speaker and an executive speech and corporate presentations coach. I can help you craft your message for your success. I'd like to be on your team. I'd like to be your coach. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. Hey, welcome back, everybody. So my theme today is one I really like. It's 2 things to remember in life. Take care of your thoughts when you're alone. Take care of your words when you're with people. And I came across a really good article called Your Words Matter by Morgan Eske, and I really thought it was worthwhile to share. So I love the opening line. Whoever said sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt, they lied. Their pants are on fire. Listen, words have weight and power no matter what medium they come across. I love you, whispered tenderly, a handwritten note to thank you, or a mean tweet. Your words matter because they have the ability to impact others significantly. I love the verse in Proverbs 15:4 that says, "A soothing tongue is a tree of life, but perversion in it crushes the spirit." Wow, that's true. So the author says, last Friday I was stressed and discouraged at work, practically on the verge of a panic attack, when a random notification from Instagram lit up her phone. She said, it was just one small sentence, a thoughtful mention from a sweet friend named Allie, reminding her that she thinks I'm awesome. It was one simple, thoughtful statement. But the author of the article says, I read her words 5 times. I drank them in, surprised at how dehydrated my soul was. Just a handful of words, typed out on her phone, sank down deep in my heart and lifted me up like helium in a balloon. Her words mattered to me. They mattered to me the same way hurtful statements lobbed carelessly by coworkers, well, they still sting. The same spiteful words written in a high school yearbook that are seared into my memory. Even though I've forgiven the distributors, those words are still etched in my mind, sneering reminders of reasons that I should feel insecure and unloved. The author says, I bet you can think of similar words spoken or typed into your life. Words that have brought tears to your eyes, phrases that have robbed you of your confidence, sentences that have caused you to forget that you are a precious, valued child of a king. They burn deep, and they hurt worse than broken bones. It's words like these that make me want to apologize on behalf of everyone. Because you know as much as I do, we can be terribly mean to each other. The author says this, seriously, I want to tell you I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the judgmental comments, tactless insults, or backhanded compliments that you, dear listener, have received. I'm sorry for the words you've heard that made you feel small and ugly and worthless and dirty or unlovable. Whether they fell out of my mouth or fingers or someone else's. Hear me. I am deeply, sincerely sorry. I love that. But it's also words like this that make me want to give everyone a nice, swift kick in the backside. Of course, in the most loving, kind way. Listen, there's not enough Allies in the world. She was the lady who wrote the author that note. Not enough people who are deliberately using their words for healing, truth-telling, and loving affirmation. Unfortunately, there is not enough women who are like the Proverbs 31 woman who opens her mouth in wisdom and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Why are we not better at encouraging each other? Really, why? So the author says, frankly, I think many of us are not strong enough to speak beautiful words to others because the words we speak to ourselves are the meanest words of all. Will you do me a favor, friend? Next time you look in the mirror or make a mistake at work or start to compare yourself to that Pinterest perfect person, will you please stop and ask yourself this? Are the words I speak to myself consistent with my beliefs? Are the words I speak to myself consistent with my beliefs? And I'm going to add the Word of God. For the record, you are gorgeous. Psalms 139:14. I hope you are righteous. 2 Corinthians 5:21. I know you're chosen. Ephesians 1:4. You're an overcomer. 1 John 5:4. No matter what. Romans 8:1. You are loved. You're wanted. You're a welcome friend. John 15:15. So please never forget it. For those who are listening, those words I added were verses that you'll find in the Bible. I believe we should commit to be people who offer life with our words, both when we speak to ourselves and to others. Once we speak beautiful words to ourselves, I believe we'll have so much more fun speaking genuine, loving, celebratory phrases to others. And I think we should start now. Wasn't that a great article? I got to tell you, I just loved it and I wanted to share it with you today. I thought the author did a great job. I came across another one and it was called How to Control Your Thoughts in 5 Simple Steps. Okay, so it says 5 simple steps, but you and I both know it's going to take a little more than that, okay? All right, so the headline is this. What's on your mind? People usually ask us this question in moments of silence while we're driving down the highway. And typically we respond with a one-word answer. Nothing. Come on, that's not true. We have a lot on our mind. At the moment, we're probably thinking of a project we need to complete, or that billboard I'm so tired of looking at. In fact, we're kind of hungry because we just saw our favorite burger place a mile back, and now we're thinking, I am loving it. Still, we answer nothing, because in reality, it wasn't anything that important. We were letting our thoughts wander, and someone just happened to catch us doing it, somehow responding with, I want a cheeseburger because I just had the McDonald's jingle on loop in my head. Well, that doesn't seem like the right thing to say. See, thoughts are things. Most people, most of the time, are not consciously aware of what they're thinking about. Yours truly included. At the same time, you know the impact that your thoughts can have on you. You can become depressed, angry, frustrated, lonely, disappointed, fearful, worried, sad, and doubtful, just to name a few. On the positive side, Some thoughts can make you smile, laugh out loud, feel a sense of pride, cause you to relax, make you feel confident, or in case you're passing a McDonald's, crave an ice cold Coke. The majority of time, your thoughts directly control how you are feeling in any given moment, regardless of whether you are consciously aware of it or not. With that in mind, wouldn't it be great if we could better control what we're thinking so that we could change how we are feeling at any time? And here's the good news. You can! The author says, let me give you some simple steps that you can use to control your thoughts so you'll stop being negative and learn to control your feelings. So number 1, learn to stop your thoughts. One of the first things you need to do is to learn to stop in the middle of your thoughts, good, bad, or just boring. At various times throughout the day, catch yourself thinking. How are you feeling? What are you thinking about? Why are you thinking about that topic? If it's not positive, you need to learn to stop thinking your thought and begin again. Number 2, identify your negative thoughts. The better you become at stopping your thoughts, the faster this step will become for you. Every feeling we have is the direct result of something we were thinking. So if you're feeling anxious, begin by stepping back for a minute and ask yourself, why do I feel anxious? Don't stop there. What is it that is making you anxious? Did you have a bad experience? Did you miss a deadline? Think through what it is and see if you can correct it to start again. I love the next point, and it's this one. Find the lie. Behind every negative story is a lie about ourselves that we're choosing to believe, whether it's conscious or subconscious. The key is to identify what the lie is and then make a note that it is what it is, and that's a lie. And so your next point, friend, recognize the truth. The only way to combat a lie is with truth, and right now is the time to seek out what the truth is. At this stage, this is where many of us will pray and just ask for truth to be revealed. Notice that your process may be different, but I would say this, whatever route you take, you have got to determine the truth. And once you have the truth, write the truth next to the lie. Because the truth in the first person and writing it in a positive phrasing will absolutely change your mindset. 2, I am a successful person who's accomplished great things. Here's the key. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, our friend, think on these things. And those of you know it's from Philippians 4:8. How you control your thoughts determine how you will control your life. It's not easy, but you can do it. Your life today is because of what you thought yesterday. If you want to control your tomorrow, or if you want it to be different, you must learn to control your thoughts. Most people state not having what they want in life is their biggest frustration. Yet they do have exactly what they wish for based on their thought patterns. There's a quick article called Ways to Control Your Thoughts and Create the Life You Desire. Our friend, your mind is very powerful. In fact, it is the most powerful man-made computer today, even smarter than Chat AI. Your mind is truly amazing. It processes everything that goes into it. It determines what's important and what is not. And then it determines the outcome that is programmed into it by you. It never fails. It will always give you the result you programmed into it. And for this reason, it is imperative, dear listener, that you learn to control your thoughts. Your thought patterns are based on everything you've been taught and to believe since you were born. Hey, but the good news is these patterns can be changed. You can learn to control your thoughts. Most people have no idea how to change their thought patterns, but let me give you a couple ways. Number 1, be conscious of what you think about. And then I got to tell you, the next point is you should be grateful for what you have. And for those of you that are dreaming for better, then determine what you want and then practice this on a daily basis. I know it seems like a lot, but here's the fact. You can change your thoughts because you know how. Stop being fearful. Look to the positive. Be grateful for what you have. You have a home, you have a car, you have friends, you have water, you have food, you have people who love you, or at least like you. Be grateful for what you have and then determine what you want. Most people never take the time to decide what they want. They take a little time, they sort of think about it. But the fact is, if you really want to live and live big, you've got to make determinations early and often. And probably the most important is, friends, see it every day. It's in your mind's eye. It will be the goal you set out to accomplish. All right, a lot of comments today, a lot of big ideas, but friends, you can take it because I want you to live your best life ever. And that's why I'm going to join you every Saturday, encouraging you to live to your full potential. I'm Deb Sofield. This is Encouragement for Your Life. Thanks for staying with me. I hope you'll join me next Saturday, same time, same place. Have a good one, everybody.